So I first primed my lid with Soft Ochre Paint Pot from MAC. Next we're going to be taking a fluffy brush and the shade Paloma, which is this one right here. And I'm going to be putting that all over the eye area. Next I'm going to take a blending brush and I'm going to pick up the shade Wisteria, this pretty lavender. This is going to go in the crease. And the trick with pastels is to just sort of pat them on and not really mess with them a whole lot if you want to get the most pigmentation out of them. Next I'm going to be taking the shade Fleur. And I'm just going to be putting that on the outer half of the lid. I'm going to pick up a little bit more of Wisteria and just go in the crease a little bit just to freshen that up. Inner part of the lid, we're going to take the shade Isle, which is a really pretty soft sort of melon shade. We are just going to pack that on. Go over a little bit of Fleur and just sort of go back and forth between the two just to blend those together. I actually love Isle as an inner corner highlight, so we're actually going to pack that on with a pinky finger. So then for the lower lash line, keeping things really soft and fresh looking for this look, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Wings. And then I'm just going to put that in the inner third of the lid. Or of the lower lash line, my bad. Then I'm going to take a white eyeliner to the waterline. And then I'm going to take the shade Metro, and I'm just going to press that along the outer half of the lower lash line, just like that. Take a little bit of Wisteria, sort of pat that on where they meet. Next I'm going to take a liquid liner. I'm going to use a black one. This one is by Revlon. A soft little wing. After I've done the liquid liner, I'm going to go over it with the shade in the palette called Muse, which is that dark brown. I'm just gonna sort of soften the liner a bit. It's also gonna give a really pretty sheen to the eyeliner. I'm gonna touch up the Metro orange shade right here, just because I feel like it got lost a little bit. And then I'm also gonna touch up that white again. Probably should have just waited till the end. Next, I'm going to take one of my favorite mascaras to pair with this palette because it gives you a really fluttery lash. This is the Rare Beauty mascara. To finish up this look, I'm going to go ahead and grab a blush. I'm going to use Nars Orgasm for this. Highlighter, I'm gonna go in with a Jeffree Star highlighter. I'm gonna use this here in Candy Frost. For the lips, I want to keep it just nice and neutral and light. I'm going to use Dragun Beauty Lip Job Liner in 4.0. And then I'm going to take the lipstick A Little Tamed from MAC. And then I want to take a lip gloss from Anastasia. This one is in Venus. And there you have it. And put that all over the eye. Then I'm going to go in with Fleur and the same brush, and that is that nice peachy shade. We're going to just use this as kind of our transitional shade. Taking Liberty, which is a khaki cool tone green. I'm going to pop that on the outer half of the eye using a blending brush. I go back in with Fuller, blend out that edge a little bit in the crease. Next I'm going to be taking my finger and taking the shade Belle, which is this gorgeous. It's like a cool tone brown bronze. It's really, really pretty. Gonna pop that all over the lid on top of Liberty, but I'm gonna leave this little space here open because that's where we're gonna blend the inner corner color into it. I'm gonna take a little bit more Liberty and just sort of go over that outer edge. Taking the shade Isle, which is a like kind of a champagne-y melon. I guess the best way to describe it, it's like a melon. And I'm just using my finger because I find some of these shimmer shades, like using your finger is just, it's so creamy and blendable. It's easy to use. Next I'm going to be taking a kohl liner. This is Smolder from MAC. Taking the shade Muse, which is that satin deep dark brown shade. And I'm going to use that to kind of smoke out my outer edge liner there. Just bring it a little bit inward. Then I'm going to take a smaller brush here, like a pencil brush, pick up more Muse, which is that brown, and I'm going to put that in the outer V. And a little goes a long way with this shade. You can easily overwhelm a look with this color, so just be very careful with the amount that you are using. You can always add, but you can't take away. I take the shade Liberty, that khaki green, and use that to blend Muse out a little bit. With Fleur again, and buff that out. I'm going to be taking a Muse, that dark brown. I'm going to go right here on this outer edge. And then I'm going to be taking Wings, which is that like kind of soft minty green. And that's going to go in the inner half of the lower lash line. Today I'm going to be using Dragun Beauty mascara. I'm going to be taking some Honest Beauty blush. This is in Peony Pink. And a MAC 168. Going to be taking the Honest Beauty Balm, prepping my lips. Next I'm going to take the Anastasia Amrezi highlighter. Next I'm going to do my brows. I'm going to use the ABH Dip Brow in Blonde. I'm going to start by creating structure where I want structure, so pressing a little harder. And doing lighter strokes where I just want to fill it in. Dragun Beauty is not a mascara you really layer, but I do find if I curl my lashes after, it just gives a really nice effect. Next I'm going to take Dragun Beauty lip liner in 1.0. Then I'm going to take the ABH lip gloss in Metallic Rose. For the final look today, we're going to do something a little bit smokier, a little bit more dramatic. I'm going to take the Paloma shade. I've prepped my eyes already with my eyeshadow base. I'm going to take Paloma and I'm just going to go into the crease and above the crease. Next I'm going to take the shade Peacock. It's sort of a small round brush. I'm going to pack this on the outer part of the eyelid into the crease a little bit. And right now we're just sort of placing the color. And then I'm going to pack that on the inner part of the eye as well. Pull that up just a little bit. Having some fallout with this shade, so if you are someone who does like their face makeup first, and the lily just fell out of its pan, again, that's frustrating. Peacock is very, very prone to fallout, so if you are, again, someone who does their makeup, like their base makeup first, you may want to reconsider that with this shade. If you're just using it on the outer part of the eye, I think it's fine, but if you're trying to do, you know, more of a halo look like this, it may be in your best interest to not do your base makeup, because I've had some fallout, you guys, quite a bit. And then Lily is so, I got mine slightly damaged in the pan and it's literally falling out, so I'm gonna have to repress that. I'm going to take the Paloma shade, that skin tone shade, and I'm just going to pop that in the inner corner to lighten that area up just a little bit. And I've had a lot of fun with this palette. I typically like to use like a teal in the middle of this look, but I want to just use the palette. So I think what I'm going to do is use one of these shades with a glitter glue, just to really like amp it up. I'm going to blend out this crease a little bit more though before I do that. Shade Liberty, which is that khaki green shade. And I'm going to use that for my crease. Just really lightly blending out the Peacock shade. I'm going to take a glitter glue now, and I'm going to use it on that middle part of my lid that's blank. I'm also going to kind of pull it upwards a little bit. Take the shade Hope, which is probably my least favorite shade in the palette. We're going to take that and we're going to pack that on. I'm going to take a little bit of Wings, which is the lighter green. I'm just going to go right on top of that. Put up just the tiniest bit of Liberty and blend that edge of that shimmer. And then I'm going to take a black eye kohl. I'm going to go on the waterline with this. Smudgy, smoky. I'm going to take my liner just a little bit along the lash line. Taking a pencil brush, I'm going to pick up some of the Peacock shade. And I'm going to go over that liner. And just smudge it out. It's really pretty. Okay, and next I'm going to take the shade Belle. This shade here. This palette, you guys, it's a disaster right now. Okay, so taking the shade Belle, I'm applying this all along the lower lash line. I'm going to curl my lashes. I need to take the Rare Beauty mascara. For my lips, I'm going to be using Dragun Beauty lip liner in 1.0. And I'm going to go in with Nars Rose Cliff lipstick. For blush, I'm going to go in with Nars Sin, which is kind of a plummy tone. I'm going to be really light-handed with this one. For my highlight, I'm going to go ahead and use the Jeffree Star palette. I'm going to use Icing 4. So let's talk about this palette. First I want to talk about the packaging. So the packaging itself is gorgeous. You know, they did increase their prices, but you are getting what you pay for. You're getting better packaging. You know, the snap closure is magnetic and just secure. So that is an upgrade. You're also getting bigger pans, less colors, no brush, but I feel like overall the quality of the packaging and everything is better than the other palettes that I have. So for example, Soft Glam, it gets so dirty. I mean, this one's getting dirty, we'll talk about that, but the outer packaging at least is less dirty. Now this does have a magnet as well, I guess, but it's not as secure as this Nouveau palette. You know, I'm still getting the dirty, messy mirror in this new palette, so that's unfortunate, as you can see. So part of the issue that I'm having with the palette is that this shade here, Lily, I don't even know if you guys can see it. I don't want it to dump out again, but basically this shade fell out, has fallen out several times. I need to repress it. It did come slightly shattered around the edge, but I thought it would be fine. Should have took it back, but that's okay. Beyond that though, it does still get messy from the other shades. There is a lot of kick up. It is ABH quality. It's just smoother and better. They definitely upgraded it, which I personally appreciate. The shimmers in this, stunning. The shimmers in this are way better than any of the other shimmers from her other palettes. It's definitely, to me, it's definitely an upgrade. So I'm going to do some swatches for you guys. My favorite shades though in the palette that I just want to point out first, Wisteria, the purple sold me on this palette. If this palette hadn't had the purple in it, I probably wouldn't have picked it up, to be completely honest. But I love pastel purple, and this one is a really pretty color. Wings is gorgeous. It's this sort of minty green, which I'll just go ahead and swatch that. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Love this type of minty kind of shade. The shimmers in here are better quality than the other, and I don't feel that they emphasize my lines and stuff on my lid, because some of the other palettes that I have from ABH look awful on me. Like, some of the shimmers are just, no. So the next shade is Isle. I'm just going to go ahead and swatch that on my arm for you guys. There it is. So pretty. And my all-time favorite shade in the palette is Lily, the one that broke. So that's a bummer. Next shade is Belle, which again, this is such a pretty bronze. It's a cooler tone bronze. So for those of you who like bronze but don't like gold, you're gonna like this one. Gorgeous. Like, just such a pretty tone of bronze. Absolutely love it. Again, there's Wisteria, which is this so, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. It is full of pigment, easy to blend out, no issues with it. And Lily is amazing. Part of what makes Lily amazing is the shimmers in this. It has like green glitters in it, and it's something that I feel like you can really only see in person. I feel like it's probably not gonna pick up on the camera, but maybe. It's got green glitters in it, and I'm telling you guys, when I wear it all over the lid, it matches my hair, like the shimmers in it. I don't know, I'm obsessed with it. I think it's great. Next shade is Hope, which this is my least favorite shade in the palette, but you know what, like today, used it, loved it, you know. This is just not my type of green that I gravitate towards, but there's not too much gold in this to where I won't wear it. I actually love it. I think it's beautiful on the eye, and I don't think it makes me look bad or anything like that. Sometimes these types of greens can make me look weird, or just, it's a personal preference. I don't like that type of green on me, but this one's really pretty and I see myself using it. There's no duds in here. Next is Paloma, which, you know, it's that standard skin tone shade. I'm gonna put it down here. Just a standard, like I said, skin tone shade. It's beautiful, creamy. Every palette needs this. I'm so glad they included it, because some of my favorite ABH shades are actually their like whites, like in the Soft Glam. What's this one? Tempura. Ugh, it's a dream. Okay, the next shade is Fleur, which this is like a peachy, neutral, rosy kind of tone. It's so pretty. It's just a standard matte. Love it. All the mattes in here are amazing as usual. The next shade is Liberty, which is a khaki green. Again, more on the cooler side, which I prefer. Peacock. So gorgeous. On my eyes today. Love it. Love it. This is that sort of duochrome, you know, teal, red, brown kind of shade. Ugh, look at that flash. It's so pretty. So, so pretty. And then we have Metro, which is a terracotta orange shade. Love it. I love these types of colors. I think that they're so pretty. They just add a warmth to a look. And then the last shade is Metro, which really, you guys, this one shocked me. How good this is in the crease. To add depth, you can totally use this for that. And I was concerned because it's a satin. You know, there's a sheen to it. So I didn't think it was going to play very nicely in my crease, given some of the other palettes that I have from ABH. But wow, this one, it works so good. So I'm going to show you guys these swatches in different lighting, but here they are swatched on my hand. As you can see, some of those flashes. Oh my gosh, so pretty. This is an elevated neutral palette. It is neutrals with a pop. It's, you know, everyday wear stuff, but like you can make this shit glam. You can make it, you know, everyday, soft, light. It's great. The shadows blend like a dream. They just into one another, out, whatever you need to do with the shadow, it just works. And I love how low fuss this is. I don't have to sit there and work super hard to make any of the shadows work, and that to me is so important. You can use these with a glitter glue. You can use them dry, and they are beautiful, stunning on their own. So that to me is a huge selling point, because I don't like to use things with glitter glue all the time. I don't like to use things wet, and so I like to just grab it and go, swipe and go, because I'm doing enough already. I don't feel like I have to sit there and work with something. So yeah, so I highly recommend this. This is really nice. This is what I like to see from brands: changing up their formula, improving, getting better, listening, you know, like the packaging. This isn't getting dirty on the outside at all, which is so nice. So yeah, I hope this review was helpful for you guys.